You prepare the surprise using your technique.
Mm-hmm.
And so and that's all I would say. I would say use the distance,
Mm-hmm.
change the tempo like you get in a lesson,
Mm-hmm.
but you use your own game.
Mm-hmm.
And by God, that worked better. That's what I found.
Mm-hmm.
Now, Johann, with his emphasis on getting the person to fence your kind of a game, carried it even further.
Mm-hmm.
Carried that idea even further. And so this was the beginning of what I was learning as a new coach. This was the beginning of what later on turned into some very fruitful conversations with Johann.
Yeah, yeah.
And led to even more successes.
Yeah. I do want to double check your time. What time should you leave here?
Well, I should leave in about 10 or 15 minutes.
I want to go back a little bit. So you're trying to get people to develop their own innate sort of inclinations into a winning game,
Mm-hmm.
and you're actually giving them a little less information and having them figure things out on their own.
Mm-hmm.
Were you having them bout more? Did you think that was important? How did you give them lessons? Were you trying to, how did that mix?
What I tried to do was different from the way my mentors taught me. I tried to emphasize all three aspects of the game. Have a good attack, have two good defenses,
Mm-hmm.
and have at least two, maybe three counterattacks.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So you can change the game.
Mm-hmm.
And each time you can go from attack to not attacking, to letting him attack and counterattack.
Mm-hmm.
You can attack, redouble the attack. You can attack and all of a sudden go on defense.
Mm-hmm.
You can go on defense and all of a sudden attack.
Mm-hmm.
And how do you do these things? Well, you do these things by a variety of means, either with the footwork, or the blade, or your arm, or even faking a move with your body. And all of these I had learned from boxing and the other activities, and that's where they came into play here.
I remember that shoulder move you just showed me. Yeah, I remember
And
that.
I remember you, for instance, when
Yeah.
you first came out, you were in foil.
Yeah.
I said, oh, this guy isn't going to do it in foil because he has this move that you just can't do anything from foil. But on the other hand, he can make a very quick move out of nowhere.
Yeah.
And so I switched you into a pay, I remember.
Yeah.
You know, and when Johann first came and saw me,
Yeah.
and I said, gee whiz, he's got a pretty good record in the pay because he showed me his curriculum vitae as a
Yeah.
fencer,
Yeah.
and he had more epee experience than foil. But he offered himself to be a strong man in whatever weapon I wanted, and I felt more confident of achieving success with the weapon that I had been trained in
Yeah.
than in either of the other two.
Yeah.
And so I asked him, would you mind doing foil?
Yeah.
Oh, he seized on it. He said, gee whiz, he said, any other coach would have me for epee.
Yeah.
And I said, well, if you want to do epee, we can. I said, but I think it'll be of more service to us if you're in the foil.
Yeah.
And by God,
And you
he
also
was.
felt you could push him more.
And I could push him more. Yeah, that's
In the
right.
foil.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. That's right. I had more to teach him
Yeah.
than I would in the epee, for instance.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. That's correct.
I think this is a good breaking point, because then we can
Okay.
start talking more about Johann's
Sure.
arrival and get more into that next time. And if you're going to
Okay.
leave soon, maybe
Yeah.
rather than break. I think last time we sort of got to where Johann and Arlie and Rich had arrived, and I don't know if you have any memories of when they came.
Oh, yes. And I remember when Johann first arrived, and all I heard about was this young blonde kid from Sweden who kept on showing up in the fencing room before they were allowing us to open it up for practice. And he was demanding that he get his practice. And Sylvia Vitali said, can you do something about it? Even though you're only the part-time coach and we can't pay you for it, can you keep him happy? And so I said, sure, as long as I meet him and you know, and so I met Johan, and he didn't understand how come we had already started the academic season, but the fencing room wasn't being used for the fencers. And so I started giving him lessons, and
Was this in the foil or in the épée?
this was in the foil, because he told me that he was quite sufficient in the épée, but he was willing to fence whatever weapon I felt we needed. And I said, well, Frank,